Hey guys, how are you all today? Doing a brand new movie review. This one's going to be for Fast and Furious 7. So Fast and Furious 7 stars obviously the main cast of Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriguez, Ludacris, and so many others. You got Dwayne the Rock Johnson in this as well, and so many other cast members. This pretty much sort of continues on from the last one. They've settled down. You know, Paul Walker, he's got a kid now. He's a bit more grown up. The kid's about 4 or 5. Vin and Letty are sort of still trying to work stuff out with Letty's memory not being there, stuff like that. They obviously in the last one, if you haven't seen 6, don't watch this if you haven't seen 6. I'm not going to spoil anything for 7, but if you haven't seen 6, maybe just wait till you see 6 and then come back and watch this if you want to know how good Fast 7 was without spoilers. But if you haven't seen 6, don't watch past here. So obviously obviously in Fast and Furious 6, the team pretty much they pretty much get rid of Owen Shaw. Owen Shaw was a criminal mastermind that tried to get rid of the team. Yada yada. In this one, it's got Owen Shaw's brother. I can't remember his first name. I can't remember. It's got him, and the film opens, not to spoil anything, it opens with Owen Shaw in a hospital bed with Owen Shaw's brother next to him going, "I will get revenge." So it goes in a action film with Jason Statham. I thought the storyline for this film was really well done. I thought it was really well thought out. All these films, after 4 and onwards, they all have tie-ins to each other. They sort of jump back to 3, then jump back to here, then jump back to 4, and then jump back to now. They always have a good storyline to go in and out of, to weave in. But yeah, this also stars Lucas Black from number 3. They brought him back for a scene in this. They sort of go back to number 3 because obviously Han dies. Even if you haven't seen 6, you know from 3 that he dies. But yeah, he was killed by Owen Shaw's brother, who is now after the team. So once Han gets killed, Vin goes over to Tokyo to bring Han's body back. And yeah, where was I going with this? I'm losing it. I don't know if I told you guys, I saw the midnight premiere for this, and it's now 7 o'clock at night, so I saw this about 19 hours ago. Yeah, so I haven't had any sleep, so I'm sort of running off fumes. So I may sit here and go, what was I talking about? But Vin went over to get Han's body while he was over there. It sort of showed the ending of 3 again, I think it was, where the guy ran up to Lucas Black and was like, "A friend of Han's wants to race you," and then it showed Vin in the car, vroom vroom. So that's how 3 ended, and then they went back to that bit, and they ended up extending it, showing a bit more. But yeah, I think they did a really good job with the storyline, tying it into 3 and tying into Owen Shaw as well. I do like the way this franchise is going. A lot of people have their ifs and buts. I don't think it's good how they added a storyline after the first 3 were just about street racing. I think it works. I think all the cast works well. Which moves on to the next point about Paul Walker. Clearly everyone knows that Paul Walker passed away sadly, last year during the filming. He passed away about halfway through filming this film. So from his brother paid a bit of a tribute to him and also the film franchise because Paul was so dedicated to this franchise. His brother stepped into his shoes and sort of finished the film for him. They did a bit of CG with his brother's face to make him look like Paul. Honestly, the CG is incredible. I'm not even kidding. There's about one or two shots, not scenes, just shots where you can sort of notice it's a bit of CG, but it's not horrible or anything in those two shots, but you can sort of just go, yeah, it's mostly like around the eyes where they've done more wrinkles, and you're like, yeah, that's not Paul, you can sort of see it there, but overall, absolutely fantastic. The way they did the talking and the movements were all fantastic. It literally didn't feel like Paul was gone yet. At the end of the film, they wrote for Paul. I think it would have been better if they did in dedication of Paul, we love you or something, or like a personal message from one of the cast members. It was just for Paul. Like, it was small on the screen. Like, it took up like that much of the screen. Like, all black on a massive screen. It was like a little thing in the center, like for Paul, and it was like, I would have expected like in dedication of Paul Walker, in memory of him, we love him, or something like that. It was just for Paul. You know, it was still a nice gesture and stuff, you know, but it was like everyone in the theatre was like, why is it just for Paul? It's like, why isn't there like a bit more to it? Like, we will miss you, we will love you, or something like that, you know? It just needs to be extended that bit more because he put so much work into these series, and it's just like, all they did was write for Paul. So I think they could have written a bit more for it, or maybe put a little bit of a tribute video at the end would have been a nice touch to it. The script for this, as I said, the story was really good. Scripting, pretty decent overall. You know, yeah, if you've seen Six, you know how The Rock sort of talks. He has those stupid sort of jokes. I think in this one they take it a bit too far. It's just like, that's not even stupid funny anymore. It's just stupid. Like, what are you even talking about? You're not funny. You're making yourself look weird. Like, there was one bit in the trailer where, if you've seen the trailer, obviously, there's a bit where he's like, Daddy's gotta go to work. There were things like that in there where you're like, why are you saying these things for? It's like, no relevance to anything. Like, you're just making yourself sound stupid. Like, they were like wrestling jokes for like wrestling fans. Like, we're not into wrestling. Like, we're here to see a Fast and Furious film, and you're giving us this. He wasn't in the entire film. The Rock, he was in it for the start. Probably first 15 minutes he had a fight scene. Then for the next hour and 20 minutes he wasn't in it. And then for the last probably 10 or 20 minutes he was in it again. He was rarely in this compared to 6 and 5. He was rarely in it. Going into, you know, fight scenes. Oh my god. If you thought the fight scenes in 6 were good, these are mint. I don't think I've seen any other fight scenes that are better than these. All of them were so well done. The sound effects, you know, the way that they were done, the filming for it, for the fight scenes, like, oh, they were just incredible. Like, the first fight scene blew everyone away. We were all like, yeah, like, people were really getting into it. I thought the fight scenes were absolutely incredible. The first one with Jason Statham and The Rock, that was sick. It was like awesome. Like, The Rock would punch him and he would just go straight through the glass. They were full on going out. Like, and the camera work as well in this film, which really worked for the fight scenes. The camera people in this need an Oscar. Like, if you, like, 99% of fans think, you know, Fast and Furious never get an Oscar. The camera team in this need an Oscar because they are brilliant in this. Like, they are mint. Like, some of the fight scenes, you saw one or two of the shots in there where, like, there was a bit in the trailer. I'll see if I can put it here. There was a bit in the trailer where The Rock, he pretty much lifted up Jason Statham and banged him on the ground and the camera spun around. There were so many shots like that, and it just made you trip out. You're like, whoa, in the movie theater. Like, it was so good, the camera work. I'm not even joking. It's the best camera work in a film I've ever seen. Like, ever. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm a Fast and Furious fan, but I never really give credit to, a lot of things. But the camera work in this, I am blown away. Like, it was just epic. The camera worked so well for this film. It just lifted the whole film up. It was just like, your Fast and Furious films just about cars and hoes and stuff, but the camera work was like, this actually makes it seem like a legit film. Like, it's not just a Fast and Furious film. It actually makes it seem like a decent action film, like Death Race or something. Which brings me on to another point. This film sort of reminded me of a lot of films like Death Race. And because it was done by James Wan, you can see his directing style in this. You can see the sort of elements where it's like all that sort of is like something he'd do for The Conjuring. Sort of the color gradient that he used, or color scheme, very, very similar to Conjuring. Some of the shots made it look olden day, but it wasn't like overpowering like The Conjuring. But some of the shots were like that's sort of the camera sort of stuff he would use for horror. He was in the horror business so long. Saw, Conjuring, all of them. He was so big in the horror genre. So for him to go into an action film, I think he did a brilliant job. It's the best Fast and Furious film. I'm not even saying that. Like, before 7 came out, 1 was always the best. 1 and 4 were my favorites. This is like 10 times better than 1. I'm not even kidding. The start seemed a little, like the editing was a bit off. I think they had 3 editors in this. That's a bit crazy. That's a bit overdone. Usually, it's just 1 film editor, but for some reason they had like 2 or 3, and I'm like, that's rarely heard of. Like, usually only Avatar has that. But the start was a bit, editing wasn't so great. Seemed a little weird. Like, when I first started, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work with James Wan. It doesn't look like it's going in a good way. First 2 or 3 minutes, editing was a bit dodgy, and the way it was filmed, I'm like, oh, I'm not liking it. And then after the title Fast and Furious 7 came up, which was really well done, it was like a car going across the screen, and then it was like following it, the Fast and Furious title. After that, it clicked in and got straight into it, and I'm like, he's doing a brilliant job. So James Wan, so far, has been the best director for Fast and Furious, I think. It's a brilliant film. Great visual effects. The ending had a lot of good visual effects. Buildings falling down, towers falling down, just helicopters falling out of the sky, stuff like that. It was really well done. Fast 6, visual effects were kind of like, it was like slapstick. Hit some really crappy visual effects. But in here, they were like really, really well done. But yeah, there was a bit at the end where they had the helicopter in the sky, and I'm not going to spoil anything here, but there was a helicopter in the sky. There was cars going everywhere around the street. There was like 5 or 6 cars. And then Dwayne The Rock Johnson came out, and he was in an ambulance, driving an ambulance. And as soon as I saw the ambulance, I'm like, this is like GTA. It's like you got your helicopters, you got your cars, you got your ambulances, and then you got your hose. It's like, it really literally reminded me of GTA 5. It's like, there is nothing missing here. This could be a GTA movie. It was just for a couple of seconds there, but as soon as he got in the ambulance, I'm like, this is GTA. Like, it's the live action GTA right here. But overall, fantastic. Hands down, one of my favorite Fast and Furious films, or one of my favorite car movies of all time. Only problem I had with this, Jason Statham, Kurt Russell. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Jason Statham. He did good though. It's not like he did bad, but it was sort of just like, I didn't like how he tried to be like Pommy, like a big tough British man. It was sort of like, yeah, he needed to be like his brother, like a tough version of his brother, and his brother was from England. But I think he overkilled it. It was just like, tone it down a level. Like, not everyone from Britain is like, I'm a tough bastard. And it's like, he overkilled it, I think, with the, pomminess and the toughness, I think. I think he overkilled it. But overall, he did an okay job with the film. It is a Fast and Furious film after all. Kurt Russell, kind of a weird choice for this film. I don't know what their casting choices were. I don't know why they put him in there. He was kind of useless. Like, he kind of just disappeared at the end of the film. There was like, no, bon voyage, this and that. And it was just like, alright, bye. There was like nothing. His character was not needed. They had one scene at the start with him where it was explaining the mission. That was, you know, his scene. Then he had a couple of other little scenes throughout the film. It was like, cut out the rest of the scenes. Just have him in the first scene and you never see him again. That's it. We don't need to see him again. So he was kind of a useless character in there. But as I said, it's a Fast and Furious film. What do you really expect? Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about this film. Fantastic. If you haven't seen this already, definitely go check it out. Usually at midnight premieres, I'm not too good with them. I've been to many midnight premieres, but usually I'm not too good with them. Just due to the fact I usually have long weeks. I usually have to go to uni and then work and then, you know, whatever. So the last midnight premiere I went to was actually quite a while ago. For the first Avengers. That was about 2 years ago, maybe just over 2 years, depending on which month it came out in 2012. But I stayed awake. I didn't even feel tired. The film kept me awake so much. I can't wait for Avengers 2. That's going to have a midnight premiere. I'm super pumped. It's like 3 weeks away and I'm losing my mind. And I'm getting a free 3D ticket to it. I've gained enough points on my Hoyts Rewards card at the movie theatre. Hoyts I go to, and every time you buy a ticket, you get a certain amount of points. Once you reach a certain amount of points, you can get a free ticket. So I have enough for a free 3D ticket and a free large popcorn. So I'm set. I got a free night at the Avengers. But yeah, this was a sick film. I do love my midnight premieres. I always love them if they have them. So yeah, I can't wait to see if they do a Fast 8. If they do, very sad that Paul Walker's not going to be able to be in it. I think his brother said even if they do sequels, he's not going to do them, I think. Hopefully he changes his mind. Nah, it's alright. But yeah, I think this was really well done. It was a great film. I can't wait to see if they do a Fast 8 and 9. Because I know originally I think they were going to do another 3 story arc. Because the first 3 really just setting up the characters, and then the next 3 which had a story arc of really just Letty. Now this new one is about helping the police, doing missions and stuff like that. But they all managed to seem to work into each other, all the story arcs. But I really want them to do a Fast 8 and 9. I do like these films the way they're going. Yeah, some of their stunts and, some of their scenes are, quite, what's the word I'm looking for? They're quite, not overdone, but like they're quite unrealistic. That's what I'm looking for, unrealistic. It's like, come on, they can't do that. But really, isn't that what Fast and Furious is meant to be? Unrealistic stunts? Like, that's what you want to see? Like, in real life, you're not going to see someone jumping from one 50,000-story building in Abu Dhabi to the next. You're not going to see that on the news. It's like, that's why we come and see these films. Because they're done like this. Like, their stunts are so unrealistic that you're like, that's why we're here. Because we want to see this kind of stuff. That's why the Fast and Furious films are here. To show us the unrealistic stunts that we wouldn't see in a normal action film, such as what's an action film that really doesn't do it? Taken. You wouldn't see these sort of stunts in Taken or like Non-Stop or something like that. Yeah, they're just action fight scenes, bang bang. That's our action scene done. This is like cars flying into buildings. It's got tanks going from one side of a bridge to another. You got helicopters falling and all sorts of stuff. All unrealistic sort of scenarios. But guys, definitely check Fast and Furious 7 out if you haven't already. If you think the franchise is going in a downward spiral, still check it out. This one will hopefully revitalize Fast and Furious for you guys. So, hope you enjoyed this movie review. Let me know what you guys think of Fast and Furious 7 down in the comments if you've already seen it. But yeah, as I said again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also guys, don't forget to share this video on Facebook and Twitter, and I will see you guys in my next video if you are a subscriber.